Hey, leaders. Happy Monday. So I wanted to circle back to something I started here in the beginning of December. I started talking about some key points around discipleship that I wanted to share with you all. And with the holidays, I kind of got a little bit off base here. So I want to get back on track and finish off my initial thought. So I started off that conversation, if you remember, with this idea that discipleship starts with a posture of looking. But it doesn't just it starts here, but it doesn't end here. Once we notice movement in and with somebody, then the question is, what do we do to let that person know that they're moving and to help them along? So another important aspect in disciples making disciples is encouragement. How often do we reach out and connect with people that are in our groups to let them know how they're doing, or to root for them and let them know that they're not on this journey by themselves? Now, as we all know, this journey that we're on to be more like Jesus Christ can be a very daunting one. Without encouragement and feedback from our leaders, from the people that are around us, that are helping us, it can often feel like you're wandering in the dark all by yourself, like you're on this journey of transformation alone. And that can be really tough for any of us, really, if you think about it. God, in his infinite wisdom, knew how important encouragement from others was to being on this journey, to becoming more like Jesus. So much so that he didn't just suggest that his followers do this. He didn't recommend that we do it. He actually commands it. The writer of Hebrews says this in Hebrews 3:13, "But exhort one another every day, as long as it is called today, that none of you may be hardened by the deceitfulness of sin." And so the question that I want to throw out there and I want you to think about this week is, how are you encouraging the people in your group along as they go along in their journey? Some practical suggestions and things that I try and focus on, although I'm not always really good at it, is, do I connect with them after the session? This could be a quick note or a text after your meetings with encouraging feedback about their contributions that night or that session. If they took a step forward, if they tried something new, if they prayed for the first time and they never prayed out loud before, do you send a quick note to them, thanking them and encouraging them to take that next step after that, to let them know that their effort was noticed? If they tried something new and maybe they stumbled or it didn't quite go as maybe they would have liked, do we still acknowledge the effort, right? Reach out to them immediately and let them know that that was noticed. Encourage them to stay with it even when it's tough. Another really powerful way that we can encourage the folks that are with us in our group is through prayer, for praying for them, but not just praying for them, but letting them know that we are praying for them. One of the most powerful things for me, the most encouraging things for me in my journey is when people that lead me or people that are around me, reach out and let me know that they're praying for me. But on top of that, also when they ask me, where am I at? How am I doing in that moment? And how can we pray for you right now? These are really simple things that we can do in person, that we can do through a text, through an email, and yet they go a long way to showing people that they're not alone and that we're with them in this whole process. So the other thing I want to say finally is that, even the simple things that inside our group in the sessions can be really impactful and encouraging. If somebody contributes something to the conversation and they make a good point, do we tell them that? Do we say, hey, good point, I didn't think about that? If somebody doesn't usually contribute, but they do speak up, even if it's not an earth-shattering point or a great point, do we acknowledge the fact that they spoke up and took that step? I think sometimes when we get far enough along in our journey, we can forget how difficult those first steps are and how much it might take somebody even just to speak up and say a couple words. And so as leaders, do we remember that? Do we acknowledge that and let people know that even the slightest movement is movement? the slightest step forward allows that person to take the next step after that. And so as you prepare for this week, as you prepare for your time with your groups, I'd like us all to be thinking about that. What are we doing to encourage the people that are in our group on a regular basis, not just in our time together, to encourage them along in this journey of becoming more like Jesus Christ? Encouragement is really important for disciples who are on a mission to make disciples of Jesus Christ. Have a great week, everybody. Continue to pray for you all in your groups. If you need anything, please reach out and let me know. Take care.